I mean, that's been in their own documents. This is so insane, but it's real. Continue.
Alex, and everybody out there in the listening audience, there positively, I must emphasize this, there positively is a group of people on the face of the earth who control the world. You've had Alex say this over and over and over. I'm punctuating it again right now. There's a group of people on the face of the earth who control the world. They are for real. They know what they're doing. They are able to accomplish what they want. They control Congress. They control the president. And by the way, they're having trouble with this president. Whenever I think I'll probably save that for tomorrow. They did want McCain as president. And, you know, I said that last year, and then somebody afterwards said, no, they didn't get McCain in. They really flubbed up, didn't they? Well, they did, and they did. You know, they're not divine. They think they are, but they aren't. And when they didn't get McCain in, they're having trouble. And this gentleman went on to tell me the trouble they're having with Mr. Obama. And they had some choice words. Oh, my gracious, I'd shake in my shoes if I was Mr. Obama right now, because the elite don't like his arrogance, pride, and some of the other things he's doing. Okay, let's get back to this. They do exist. This man told me what they're doing. You're right about the other gentleman who, on his deathbed, said, don't follow these people. They're positively Satanist. One of the first things I learned when I lived with the elite years ago was to listen to their buzzwords. I'd like to read you a few buzzwords that this man used, and I want you to quickly, in your mind, think, what is the very first thing you think about whenever I give you these buzzwords? Now, these are his exact statements, and whenever I read you his buzzwords, I know how to understand them, because I learned years ago to read between the lines, listen to their buzzwords, and then know what they're talking about. Okay, I'm going to read you his buzzwords, word for word, and then the first thing that pops in your mind that you think these buzzwords mean. Here goes. Number one, war brought the country out of the Depression. The second buzzword, turmoil in the Middle East 2 years from now. The next buzzword, Iran's external enemy, Israel. I wrote these down as he was saying them. Another buzzword, crude oil will stay $70 to $50 until the next crisis in the Middle East. The next buzzword, nearly everyone will be working for the government. And what's the first thing that pops into your mind when you hear something like that?
Communism.
Yeah. I mean, total control and war. War. Listen to this. War brought the country out of the first one. Turmoil in the Middle East. Iran's external enemy, Israel. Crude oil, stay there until the Middle East crisis, and they already have it planned. You remember back 2 years ago, Alex, and I said this on your show. He said, we don't want war with Iran. And here, all of our battleships were lined up over there in the Persian Gulf. They were on ready and alert. Everything was right ready. The Air Force, man, we had nearly everything in the way of armament right over there in the Middle East, ready for something to take place in the Strait of Hormuz. And then this man told, and I was predicting it, as was most other talk show hosts, that we were going to have war with Iran in the very near term, and that was a year and a half ago. And this man said to me, we do not want war with Iran. I came on radio talk shows, and some of the talk show hosts got upset at me, because they were saying we're going to have war with Iran, and I said, this man said, we don't want war with Iran right now. Now he turns around and he says, we've extended our timeline, and he says, here's the new timeline, and he says, Iran is in the picture, but it's in the picture for approximately 2 years from now. So I'm warning you, what we thought was going to take place a year and a half to 2 years ago, you've got it down the line 2 years from now, and it's going to break out and spread all over the world at the time it happens. And he used buzzwords that indicated to me that they have something definitely in the wind for that period of time. I'm just telling you what this gentleman says. Believe me, for 35 years, all I have ever done is voiced what the elite have told me. I'm just a little everyday sort of a guy. Believe me, I am not a prophet, but everything that these people have said for the past 35 years has taken place, and you can believe it. This is going to take place also.
Well, Lindsey, let's go back to this. Let's go back to this taking over the preachers and the devil's Messiah. What was he saying that was?
Well, we came around to how that all of this is coming about. Whenever he said that within 2 years you'll be so broke you won't be able to rebel against America, against the elite, excuse me. America will not be able to rebel against the elite, and down to the fact that they have 2 years and the dollar basically will be a thing of the past, and inflation. Well, we went through all of these 2 years things, and naturally being a pastor, I went back at that point and said to him, I said, and I called him by name, I said, do you remember at Prelude Bay when Speedy Jones came to know Christ as the Savior, and how it literally turned Prelude Bay upside down? I thought I'd get him on this subject, and I really wasn't asking him for things in the religious world, but he said, Chaplain, I do remember that. He said, you were having 450 men out to the worship service at Pump Station 1, and he said, yeah, Speedy Jones with Houston Constructors really did turn the North Slope of Alaska upside down. And he said, then he got on the subject of religion. I wasn't expecting him to do it, and he used the expression, the devil's Messiah, and I asked him to kind of elaborate a little bit about what he was talking about, and he went into the details as to what they've done to the churches and the pastors of America, and how they have gotten them to fall in line over a period of time from all the way back at 65 and 66, 1965 and 1966.
All right, stay there, Lindsey. We're going to come right back in with the Devil's Messiah. Stay with us.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones here to tell you about Cal Ben Soap. My staff and I just love the old-fashioned, pure, handmade soap produced by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company that's over 62 years old. Go to 5starsoaps.com or click on their link at Infowars.com. They have been a longtime sponsor of ours. Cal Ben Soaps meet the highest standards of quality, purity, and value. Everyone should use their great line of products. I consistently hear from my listeners and friends how much they love the Cal Ben Pure Soap products. Check out their whole line of bath, hair, laundry, and dish soap and more at 5starsoap.com. There is nothing like these factory direct, big money saving, triple concentrated soaps anywhere. Don't take my word for it. Get a free detailed catalog by calling toll-free 1-800-340-7091 or check them out online at 5starsoap.com. Again, go to 5starsoap.com and just try their products. You're going to love them. You will never use anything else again.
Front porch sitting in an old rocking chair.
Makes me very angry to see humanity who's good and decent, and the average person is loving and has hopes and dreams, manipulated by the scientific dictatorship. Pastor Lindsey Williams is our guest. Lindsey, this is a short segment, long segment coming up, but I want, so you said, you were just mentioning, hey, remember us on the North Slope? Remember when one of the heads of the big work groups became a Christian and everybody else was getting saved? He then launches in to the Devil's Messiah. Tell us what that means.
What Alex Jones says in his new DVD, and I haven't seen it yet. Alex, I'm sure looking forward to it. I guarantee you that what this man told me is going to back up every single thing that Alex Jones says in his new DVD. He went into the subject, as Alex just suggested. He wants to keep me on the subject of the Devil's Messiah. Have you been asked by your church and your pastor lately to fill out a form in which it asks very personal questions, and they say that they'd like it for the purpose of being able to know more about the people in the church?
Yes, it's happening everywhere.
You better be careful, folks. Did you realize that this is that Homeland Security has, oh my goodness, I wish I had time to go into Homeland Security, but I can't.
No, you do. Go over it. Go. Just tell us.
That Homeland Security has actually requested of the pastors to get this information and to make it available to them at any such time that they might want it. And they ask personal questions, your salary, the number of people in your house, the number of computers you have, on and on and on. I attended a church. We just came back, as I mentioned to you. 3 months, I disappeared. Literally disappeared. Haven't done a single radio talk show up until today. Alex, I guess that's the reason I'm so excited, because I have a privilege of giving out what this man just told me, your show being the very first one. And I was in a church in the course of our travels, and this church asked the people to fill out this brochure, and I looked at it and I almost gagged. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's exactly what Homeland Security has requested of the pastors to be able to.
Hey, it's worse than that, Lindsey. We're the ones that broke 3 years ago on Genesis. Pastor Butch Poff did first. The clergy response team's secret documents. Tell your flocks Roman 13. Tell them give their guns up. Tell them take forced inoculations. Tell them world government's good. Tell them to worship whoever the president is. Then it came out mainstream news that our documents were real. People couldn't believe it. Just Google clergy response teams. You can watch newscasts, everything, saying, yeah, we're getting you ready to go to the camps. They actually say the camps and how it's of the Lord to go to the camps. Very, very like communist China or Russia using the churches. And then one of my friends brought me from Dripping Springs Big Baptist Church. They got ordered, you don't talk about politics with anybody at the church, even when you're eating dinner with them. You shut up and do what the government says. These are prison grids. You talk about devilish, go ahead.